Wisconsin, normally you have to worry about stopping the paint first, forcing threes, but with the volume in which they shoot three-pointers, this is kind of the inverse strategy of that, where you have to chase them off the three-point line and have them shoot inside the arc.
Yeah, I mean, they've got some really effective shooters, and they do a good job finding them. But it's kind of the same. They go inside first. The amount of post-ups that they play and play through the post is what Wisconsin has always done. It's what they're continuing to do. They've got a lot of guys, too. I mean, they'll post up anybody on the floor, 1 through 5, and you just have to be ready for it. You have to be strong. Can't bite on the pump fakes. They do a great job. Up and unders, they continue to pivot. Very similar to how Pickett plays from Penn State on the block, and they do a good job spraying it to the weak side where they have shooters all over the floor. And, it's a team that is coming off, I think, probably their best stretch of the year. Had a great win at Penn State, and, a team that's playing really confident basketball right now.
What's been your evaluation of the just perimeter rotations and closeouts since Emmanuel has been out?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're a completely different team on the defensive end. Not only Emmanuel, but Juwan. You got two lengthy defenders that have great experience, that know what they're doing out there. And you look at our numbers, I think we were top 30 in the nation defensively when we had those two guys on the floor, and we were basically a man-to-man team. And, it's been part of the problem. That's why we fouled more. We've done a little bit better job as of late in our win. We did a great job of keeping Penn State off the line. And if we're getting beat in the perimeter, that puts Derek and our backline guys in a tough position where they've been half a step late, and that's where we've had some of the fouls that, the problems that we've had. And with Derek off the floor, obviously we're not the same team. So, we're switching things up a lot more. We're playing a lot more zone, certainly than we were earlier in the year, and we have to. It's just something we have to try and do to steal possessions, just with the way that we are from a defensive standpoint, as opposed to where we were when we had Emmanuel and we had Juwan on the floor. And, listen, Michigan, they made shots the other night, and we're in a position we have to protect Derek. And if we would have played one-on-one with Dickinson, we put Derek in a bad way for potentially picking up fouls. And, not only Howard and Baker, but, a couple of their other guys that weren't great shooters that we were going to live with were either hitting tough shots or they were hitting little floaters contested that hit the rim 3 times and bounced in. So, those are the ones you live with. And, the uncontested ones, which we did give up a couple of those as well, rotated to the wrong guy, those are the ones we have to eliminate to give ourselves a chance.
How important has Casey's kind of stretch he's been on and the improvements he's made been to your overall offensive improvement as a team?
Yeah, it's obviously he's a guy that's playing with a ton of confidence right now, and I give our guys credit for trying to find him and get him good open looks. Our screening has been good, and I think what makes Casey special, not his ability to shoot, but just his overall movement and his cutting, and he's getting to the basket, and it's just his wide variety of shots. The up and under that he had over Dickinson was an incredible shot the other night. And we kind of let their crowd, I think, dictate. They started counting down the shot clock. As I tell our guys, they're not doing that to help us. They're doing that to try to screw us up. And, Casey went in there and made a great up and under shot over a guy that's 7-1. So it's just, the rhythm that he's playing with, it's been fun. It's been fun to be a part of on the offensive end. What he's doing, he has to be more consistent defensively. He knows that. He'd be the first one to tell you that. But he's been in a great rhythm offensively, and we have to continue to get that type of production from Casey. But he and Derek have had a really good chemistry out there. They've been really fun to watch together.
I know Keita's coming off an ankle injury, but how have you seen him? What do you want to see from him and Breidenbach over the last 8 games, just to give you something after if Derek gets it?
Yeah, it was good to see Wilhelm step out and make a couple shots the other night. He had a good cut to the basket. CJ had a good play in a 2-man game that got him a layup, and then he steps out and knocks down a 3. Had a free throw 1-on-1 that we ended up not converting, but he had a chance to have a 7 or 8 point game the other night, which is huge. That's big for confidence for guys when they can knock one down. Hopefully that helps him. He's working his ass off, getting in here every day, trying to get himself more consistent with his jumper. He's had some good looks. He's had a couple things that he's turned down, and we need Wilhelm stepping up and shooting those shots when they are available. And he did a good job rebounding the other night as well. So he did some things that hopefully he can build on here the rest of the season. As far as Blaze, I talked about this a lot. When he missed all the time that he did, there's some guys that can just get thrown right back into it and they don't skip a beat. Blaze is one of those guys. He needs reps. He needs to get his timing back. He's bobbled some balls in the pocket where we've made a couple good plays. Just as far as catching that, come to a jump stop and make the right play, or rolling and putting heat on the rim and then getting lost on the baseline. Those are the types of things that we need out of him, that we've talked to him about. And some of it is on us. We can't throw him the ball in positions where maybe he's not comfortable right now, with some of the things that we've done where he has bobbled a couple plays. So we've worked on some things to put him in a different position in our offense, and hopefully that will help him, and be more defined in what he needs to do right now until he can get his timing and his wind back to where it needs to be.
Does Derek pass the ball better than a lot of big men you've been around, Brett? His assist numbers are really good.
Yeah, he's 15 assists in the last 2 games, and we missed some easy ones. He very easily could have had a triple-double last game. I think he was 3 rebounds shy and 2 assists, and he got the points. So, just the way our guys are cutting right now, our pace has been terrific. And you look at our numbers from a percentage standpoint, the last 6 or 7 games, they've been good enough for us to win. Now, we've taken better care of the ball the last 2 games. We've been under 10 on the turnovers and had over a 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. If we can keep that going, we're going to have a chance. And even the other night, the end result was 21. That thing had a chance to cut to 7 with 7 minutes left. It was still a 10-point game with 5 minutes left, and then miss a couple 1-and-1s, missed the both on a 2-shot foul, and then they make their threes and we miss ours, and then that's the end result. But we got ourselves back to a point where we had a chance. I'll tell you where it started. When Jamarcus Lawrence dove on the floor right in front of our bench, it was a hell of a hustle play, got the ball up the floor, and then that propelled a run for us. So those are the types of things our team needs to do right now. We need to be gritty, we need to be tough, we need to get dirty, and those types of plays, those 50-50 balls, what that does for your team is huge. So we need to make more of those here down the stretch, and hopefully, again, give ourselves a chance, and like we did against Penn State, and then we made the necessary plays to win. But, those are the type of plays that we need more of.
How do you feel like you match up against Wisconsin?
You know what? The confidence that they're playing with right now is really good. And, Chucky Hepburn, the jump that he's made this year, shooting almost 50% from the three-point line, it just takes and makes tough, big shots for this team. His ability to play in the post, he's a great defender, has some of the best anticipation and hands in our league. And it starts with him. He's great with the ball in his hands and with the point and getting them into their offense. Tyler Wall is a very difficult cover in the post, and we're going to have to throw different coverages at him. But again, their guys are in their shooting. Their perimeter shooting with their other guards out there is very good as well. So Crowell on the post is a problem, and those guys put you in a difficult position based on matchups. So right now, obviously we're small, we're inexperienced, but I'll take our guys because they play hard, they compete, and we have to continue to do that down the stretch.
It's been a couple weeks now, guys. The younger guys, Jamarcus, Sam, Denham, getting significant minutes. How can you characterize how much they've grown in just a few weeks?
Yeah, they've grown in a huge way, and at times they look like freshmen, and they should. I mean, they're still very early in their development, and especially with getting consistent minutes. I mean, it's been 5 or 6 games now since the injuries, and they've had great moments, and they've had some tough moments that we're going to grow and learn from. But overall, I just see what Jamarcus did down the stretch, what Sam did down the stretch against Penn State, and a huge win, and plays that they made to get us back in it. Sam hits the 3 and a good take to the basket against Michigan. Denham, what he's doing defensively without our 2 probably best defenders on the floor, that stuff's all huge for their development and for their futures, and it's going to put them a leg up going into next season where they've already been out there and they've been thrown into the fire a little bit. So we're proud of those guys. They still have a long way to go, as they should at this stage in their careers, but we feel all 3 of those guys have very good futures.
Have you experienced a year where it feels like you're coaching 2 different teams within the same season, whereas before it was defense, do enough on offense? Now it's offense, do enough on defense.
Yeah.
I mean, just the flip since the last 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, it really is. There's no doubt about it. It has been like 2 different teams, and our identity, and you look at our numbers on both ends of the floor early, it was a very defensive-oriented group, and we played slow, and we made it ugly on a lot of occasions, but that was the way we were going to give ourselves a chance to win. And since we've made the change, now we're switching up defenses. We're trying to junk things up to give ourselves a chance to steal possessions. And offensively, we have to have good nights. And we've been better. We've really been. I've been pleased with our offense, the way it's looked, with our pace, with our purpose that we're playing with. Playing through Derek, Griesel, I thought had complete control, even though his numbers weren't great against Penn State. And those are things that we have to grow defensively. There's no doubt right now, but I've been pleased. The offense is looks like it should right now, and we need to continue with that. Tomorrow, Wisconsin, they just are so physical. They do such a great job at chasing you, and making it a battle on the floor. So we have to be strong. We can't let them dictate where we're going with our movement. We have to continue with that same pace that we played with.
Yes, Coach.
All right, thanks.
Yes.
Guys.
Momentarily.